Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. This video is about XRP. When I do research, sometimes it gives me great pause, and this is one of those days. I think the two stories to start are really quite amazing. So first, there is a Swiss-based mobile crypto wallet company, and they received $55 million in funding as of June 2019. It was January 2019 when SBI first invested in this company. Most of the investment has come from SBI, but in October, Ripple through Spring invested 750,000. And I couldn't quite figure out why all this money was being thrown at this company. It was a little blurry to me. They were first known as a company called Bread Wallet, and then they later changed their name to Bread, and now they are just referred to as BRD. They were the first crypto wallet in the App Store in 2014, so they've been around. And on the 11th of December, this was the first reference to the up-and-coming launch of their enterprise blockchain product. I think nobody paid attention. We can find, though, that if you study the blockset.com website, I think some people are going to be paying attention because this is a tool for banks, asset managers, and investment funds to hold crypto assets. It can also perform escrow services. It has analytical tools for compliance, and it even can be used by governments, private investigators, and technology firms as well. It was on the 17th of January that the official release came out, and now we can truly see their new focus. They are going to meet the high growth demands of the financial services and banking industry worldwide. The co-founder and CEO, Adam Trademan, says 90% of major banks, 90% of major banks are now exploring crypto. And this groundswell is creating a lot of new initiatives. The product will allow banks to accelerate their time to market and deliver enterprise solutions to scale on a global basis for a fraction of the developmental cost. Now, this is where it gets amazing. Over 20 financial titans are already evaluating the private pre-release program. 4 of those names of the 20 are SBI Holdings of Japan, PayPal, KMPG, and Ripple Spring. So starting as of Friday, Blockset is available worldwide. It has Bitcoin and XRP to start. BCH, Hedera, Ethereum should be added by the end of Q1, and the goal is to add the top 15 crypto assets by the end of 2020. Wow. I think if you want to follow how they're doing, you can find them on Twitter. There's just a few people following them so far. I think, 9 people to be exact? Yeah, so I think they have been moving under the radar. They're not slowing down, though. There's a lot of positions open, many of them here in Tokyo. And here is the description for what they're hiring in regards to a director of enterprise sales. And it will be based in Tokyo. So boy, I hope you guys have a lot of sales. All right, I found a new media. They are called EnergyBit, and it's interesting. They cover Asia very well. You can see they have quite a following, 9,000 followers already on Twitter. They are focused on research, sustainability, renewable energy, and emerging technologies like blockchain. They have an article that was published on the 8th of January about this young man in the middle here. He is the co-founder of Bitkub. This is a very, very good article, and this young man is something. His name is, give me a chance here, Top Jiriut Skuprispospa. I'm so sorry. It's a Thai name. It's very difficult. He has even trademarked his name. But he co-founded Thailand's largest Bitcoin exchange. He holds a master's in philosophy from Oxford. His company, Bitkub, they are under the Capital Group Holdings company called Bitkub. They received the largest seed capital in Thai history. He sits on the board of the Thai FinTech Association. He's just about 30 years old and is one of the key players for banks to realize the benefits of Ripplenet. So Bitkub is Ripple's official exchange partner in Thailand, according to this article. And I can show you that this is what the article looks like. Look at how handsome he is. And I want to just highlight this portion here at the bottom of the article where you can see that Ripple is to establish an institutional cross-border payment with XRP, an open source for access and participation in the public sector of XRP cash flow, a standalone digital currency used to facilitate transactions on the Ripple network. Now, Bitkub is going to be Ripple's official exchange partner in Thailand. That sentence tells me he's going to be like a Bitso or a Coins.ph. He will be the official exchange partner. I am sure he's going to be handling ODL. He's joining the Ripplenet program. And he says, we're on a mission of humanizing blockchain experience where people will inherently utilize cryptocurrency as transaction protocol on the back end in order to receive as well as transfer money at a fraction of the cost across the globe. Within early next year, now I think he's referring to 2020 because this was published on January 8th. I think the interview was, definitely done before the new year. So he's talking about within early next year, meaning 2020, global money remittance at a much cheaper rate would be feasible. Wow. I think this is really fantastic news. So if you are thinking like I'm thinking, I think that Asia has their ODL partner. Okay, this is interesting. This is an interview that took place with a media outlet here in Japan. Now, don't get discouraged. Like the first 6 minutes are in the interview is in Japanese, but it switches over to English when they actually bring CZ on. And they asked CZ a lot of great questions because we know he is trying to establish a partnership with Tao, which is owned by Z Corporation, which is a subsidiary of Yahoo Japan. Now, I just want to say this word subsidiary. There are two ways to say it officially if you go onto the internet and listen to the two pronunciations. One is the American way, subsidiary, or you can say it the British way, subsidiary. And I guess I used the British pronunciation, but somebody in the comment section who's been very kind, but my pronunciation has been driving them crazy. And I think it's a little difference of like when you say vase or vase, or maybe schedule or schedule. But I think subsidiary is totally correct when you listen to how to say it in a British pronunciation. So I'm sorry. If you want me to say it more like the American pronunciation, I will definitely try. But if you listen to those, I think that it's okay because that person was just really bugged that I wasn't saying it how they thought I should be saying it. So anyway, okay, so the subsidiary of Yahoo Japan is Z Corp, and they own the exchange here in Japan, called Tao Tao. And CZ is trying to actually navigate the business waters here by partnering with Tao Tao because he understands Japan. He's lived here for many years, and he knows that there is a difference between global business culture and Japan business culture. And yeah, it's getting more global here, but it's still, there is still quite a difference. I loved hearing him talk about Japan and what he thinks. Well, he was asked a lot of questions. He thinks that the Japanese people are very patient and that they follow the rules. Even if the rules aren't good, they follow the rules, and that's true. And he does know that it takes a little bit longer to make a decision here because the decisions are made more on a team basis where everybody has a chance to chime in, and it's not just from one person at the top giving a directive. It's more on a consensus basis. So yeah, he understands that, but once a decision is made, then yeah, things move very quickly. So he is quite aware of this unique business culture. When he was asked about the BNB coin, yeah, he's going to apply to have it listed in Japan. I think the BNB holders are going to be very excited about that if he gets that through. He's right now focusing on trying to get the best talent for his teams. Like I talked about with Ripple's growth, that is one of the toughest things to do, is to recruit, to train, to retain talent. It's very, very competitive out there. For him, Binance is a lifestyle, 24/7. He said, I can own a Lambo, I can drink martinis. He says, but that's boring. I want to work. And he loves his 24/7 lifestyle, which is totally focused on Binance. He wants to help others. Right now, he is really fortunate that with his success, he is able to do that. He gave a lot of money to Japan about a year and a half ago when Japan experienced some natural disasters with flooding. And it was just really wonderful that he donated so much money. I think it was like at least $1 million. So he personally, he says, loves Japan. It's clean, it's organized, it's advanced regarding crypto and its regulations. And even though there are conservative old values kept, there is still the ability to push through adoption for new things. And he loves the quality here. He loves the people. He really talked highly about hanging out in Japan with his friends. So that was just really a great interview for me. If you want to listen to it, it's on the neweconomy.jp website. Okay, I am going to jump to the fluff, and we're going to stick with Japan and not so much talking about Enho, which did have a match today. He's now 3 wins, 3 losses. I'm sorry to say that he got pushed out first out of the ring. And yeah, it was quite a quick match, actually. But what I want to talk about is the gyoji. And the gyoji is what you might call in English the referee. And these gyoji are really important. There are 45 of them in the professional ranks of sumo, and they fall within low rank to high rank. There's 8. And so 45 of them are spread out among these ranks. They have great tradition and names that have been handed down for hundreds of years. So once you become a gyoji, you get a new name and then become part of that succession of names that go back in history. If I take a look here and show you, this is when what you're seeing here is when the wrestlers come in for their bouts. They do kind of a ceremonial, it's called a dohyo iri, and they come in a keisho mawashi. It's a ceremonial what do you call a mawashi? A ceremonial cover that is made by their sponsors. And so they are ever changing based on the sponsors that give them as gifts actually to those wrestlers. But here you can see the gyoji is in a type of clothing that is the same that samurais wore 4 centuries ago. So it's quite beautiful. And the color that you find on the ties actually depict the rank. Purple is the highest ranking. And you'll see he's holding what's called a gumbai. This is a fan, a lacquered wood fan that originally was used to signify the start of a battle, and now it's used to signify the start of a bout. They have a special kind of saying on each. It's called Ishin Ise, which means say each word with all your heart. The gyoji are one that starts the bout, and they need to make sure that it starts with mutual consent because you don't want any false starts, and they are also one that declares who wins and who loses. This is a great photo. Before the tournaments, the gyoji will do a ritual blessing of the ring, but also too, salt is used by all the sumo wrestlers in between each match to kind of purify the place for their for their uh, my mind is blank, for when the two wrestlers meet each other face to face. It's called the tachiai. So just before they get down to that tachiai, the wrestlers will use this salt to purify. It's kind of also a superstitious, or to give them good luck too. You'll see some of them will sprinkle it on their arms. Some of them put it on other parts of the body, but for the most part, it is thrown onto the ring in front of them where they will stand. This particular wrestler throws a lot more than usual. This is kind of a show for the fans. The fans just love it. So here the gyoji is turned his gumbai forward, which indicates that the two wrestlers can start, and they will begin that match with a very hard crash. Actually, it's a very, very tough. It's important to have the biggest push at that initial charge to really get your advantage of winning, because if you are weak at the tachiai, that other opponent is going to drive forward and you're going to be out of the ring in no time. Here you have a great picture of where the gyoji has to pay careful attention to who steps out or even touches any part of the ring outside of this straw bale. So on the sand, if you even just with your tiniest little baby toe touch the sand, you lose. Or if you are to touch with any hand or finger or anything touches outside of these bales, you are going to be called out and lose the match. This actually is Koto Oshu. Koto Oshu was from Bulgaria. He was a very popular wrestler about 10 years ago. I miss him. He was very good, very fun to watch. He got as high as the Ozeki rank, which is just below the grand champion. Yeah, he made sumo very fun to watch. So if the gyoji can't see, he does rely on the 4 judges that are on either side of the ring, the dohyo, and sometimes he doesn't call it correctly. So then those judges, who are usually retired wrestlers, will all get onto the dohyo. They'll do what's called a mono-e. They'll have a quick discussion. Sometimes they overthrow a decision. Sometimes they have a rematch. So they are kind of the final word. But I would say for the most part, the gyoji gets it right 99.9% of the time. And one of the things that they must do is do the hand calligraphy of the banzuke. And the banzuke is the official ranking sheet that comes out a couple of weeks before each tournament. And at the top here are the top ranked wrestlers. And as you come down the Banzuke, you'll find that all of these wrestlers, the names of them get tinier and tinier. And it's a very difficult talent. It takes them more than 10 years before they are ready to officially be able to create one of these Banzuke Hyo. And it's done with real, fude brushes and black ink. I can't imagine, when can you imagine you get like 95% done and you make a mistake, or you drop some ink on top. I mean, I just can't even imagine too how long it takes to do one. I'm sure it takes hours upon hours to get one done. You can see here's his brush and the ink right off to the side there. He is being very perfect and measuring it all out. So win or lose, Enho, the Flaming Phoenix, who is the most popular wrestler, even if he wins or loses. He faced Onosho today, who's 23. Enho is 25, but unfortunately, Onosho got the grip on the Mawashi first, and he started to drive, and Enho went down very, very hard. So Enho is 3-3 today. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.